The process of acquiring a label is insane. You have no idea how much.
Really?
Of course.
What would be the difference of you acquiring a label versus signing a label?
Great question. Key to being able to continue growing the community is listening. A&R used to be artists and repertoire. Recently, I look at it like it's audience and repertoire. It's the reason a lot of people love certain songs. It's the memory you have with that song. Acquiring the label wasn't more of a corporate takeover. It was actually a cultural preservation. For that legacy of Dirtybird to continue, someone needed to acquire it and continue to nurture it. Otherwise, that brand could have vanished.
What does the music industry need more of in 2026?
Patience. Nowadays, you make one mistake and people won't forgive you. Like, chill the fuck out, guys. I think the brand is more important than the face or the sound when it comes to labels.
That is actually wild when you think about it like
Yeah,
that, isn't it? It's actually mind-blowing.
Respect will get you in, entitlement will get you out. Like, who do I ask for advice who's been a fan of a label and one day was gonna acquire it and become its president?
Hello, I'm Katie Knight and welcome back to my podcast, Can You Put Me on Guest List? This week I am joined by Moody Jones. Moody is a DJ, a producer, an interviewer actually. He recently dived into the world of interviewing, which I've loved watching. And he's also the general manager of Dirtybird Records, one of the most influential and community-driven labels in electronic music. He's also a senior leader at Empire Dance, the global independent music company that acquired Dirtybird a few years ago. So Moody sits at a really unique intersection, artist and executive, culture and business. And in this conversation, we are unpacking what it actually means when a label like Dirtybird is acquired by a larger company. How you protect a sound and a community that people deeply, deeply care about, and what changes and what should never change behind the scenes. We talk about legacy versus growth, authenticity versus algorithms, and what artists should realistically expect from a record label today. We'll also get into leadership, creativity, and how Moody balances running a legendary label while staying connected to his own artistic identity. This episode is a deep dive into how modern labels are built, led, and evolved, from the music to the culture to the people behind it. Before we start, if you have not yet subscribed to the podcast, it would be so amazing if you could. It really helps the podcast grow, and I hope that you enjoy this episode. This is Moody Jones.
You okay?
I'm wonderful.
How are you?
Very good. I'm so happy to be. This is a great backdrop.
I know.
Good job.
It's cool, right?
Yeah, especially with this cacao water that's only 5 grams of sugar. That's incredible.
I'm glad that you're actually drinking it now. I love how I offered you this and is it Tim Tam or Tam Tam?
I think it's Tam Tam.
Tim Tam?
Tim Tam?
A Tim Tam, I should have known that really. And you're like, do you not have anything normal that you can offer me?
Like just water or so, I don't know. These are things that are foreign to me.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be really good for you. It's packed with lots of goodness. So I feel like for the first day of ADE, it's a good drink to have because it's going to give you all of the nutrition that you need.
Thank you for your concern about my nutrition the first day of ADE.
It's okay.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Good. How are things? When was the last time I saw you?
Well, last year we definitely saw each other, but I remember maybe in Ibiza or one. I don't remember, but we definitely saw each other this year.
You've had a busy year.
Had a busy year.
Right?
Yeah, so have you.
Yeah?
Yeah. Why is yours purple and mine white?
Mine's sparkling and yours is still.
Oh, I see.
Would you prefer sparkling?
No, I like this one. I'm a still guy. You nailed it.
I'm a still guy. I'm a still guy with curly hair.
Only the hair is sparkling. That's it.
Is your hair actually that curly?
Yeah, but it gets frizzy when it's super humid. And so I have to, take the proper procedure to make sure it doesn't get frizzy for the camera.
Okay, so the proper procedure is curling cream.
Yeah, well, actually, it's this really crazy shampoo I use that people keep asking me about, but I refuse to tell them because I'm a gatekeeper about curling your hair.
Okay. Well, I don't need it, but for anyone that needs curly hair, you know who to go to.
Yeah.
Who wants curly hair. So when did you get in?
I got in yesterday. Me and like 9 or 12 people that I knew were all like on the same flight. from San Francisco. We got in at like 11 a.m. and it was like straight to it. We had a few meetings yesterday. One of my best friends is celebrating his birthday, so he's here with like 20 people as well. And
nice.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be here till Friday and then figure it out after that.
Are you here repping Empire Dance?
I'm here repping Empire Dance, Dirtybird, Disposable. Under Empire Dance we have 40 labels.
40?
40 labels.
40 labels?
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, so Dirtybird is the main label. I guess that people recognize because of how strong it is in real life. Like it has a community, it has a following. It's been around for 20 years. This is our 20-year anniversary. So that's why everyone knows Dirtybird, but we have 40 other labels. Like we have Aluna's label, we have Malone's label, Francis Mercier's label, the Martinez Brothers, the Soul Clap. We have a lot.
And they're all under Empire Dance?
Correct.
Ah, I didn't know you had that many.
Yeah, our role is to be the infrastructure or the team behind the players. So that's a lot of the reason artists come to us is freedom. So whatever they need, just to get them to be creative and do whatever they want to do to have the best output, that's why they'll come to Empire. And our whole thing too is like, we don't really need to leverage the artist's background for us to grow. Like we're already an established brand, we're already a big label. So if anything, we're the platform to help the artist, not the artist helping us. Because I see this a lot now where labels try and sign an artist so that they can get more credibility versus the other way around. But Dirtybird, 20-year anniversary, that was also the only label that we actually acquired versus we just signed.
Okay, so I don't know much about this world.
Okay. Let's do it.
So what would be the difference of you acquiring a label versus signing a label?
Okay, great question. So when we decided to run the dance division, like start this whole dance division, so Empire, we have 7 different departments. We have Africa, Latin, Nashville, Europe, Asia, WANA, and dance is the youngest one. Which is my baby. So when we wanted to launch that, instead of going out there and trying to hire 10 people or 12 people and try and train them to all mesh together, it kind of made sense more to acquire a label that was based in San Francisco that already had a good following, that already had the culture that we can actually learn from, and then have a team day one who understood dance music, who understood culture, who understood how to do events. So we acquired them 3 years ago today. Today.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
I guess.
Thank you.
Acquireversary.
Yeah. But what that means is their entire catalog is owned by Empire. The staff works full-time at Empire. Events under Dirtybird are ran by Empire. So all the merch goes to Empire. There's no other splits. When we sign labels, it's completely different. One, we don't own any of the content or any of the trademarks or anything. It's strictly a licensing deal, and it has a fixed time period. So it could be 5 years, 7 years, 8 years, and the artist still retains full ownership. If we do merch, the artist keeps 70%, for example, of the revenue. If they do events, we get 0 of the revenue. So the artist is still completely in control. They own their IP, they own their products, they own their content, they own their audience as well. So the difference between acquiring a label and licensing a label are completely different. And one thing that a lot of people don't understand is why we acquired Dirtybird. Mm-hmm. So aside from wanting to launch the dance division and getting the right experience and all of that, it was also Claude Von Stroke and Andy, who were the founders of Dirtybird. They wanted to essentially retire. And so acquiring the label wasn't more of a corporate takeover, it was actually a cultural preservation. For that legacy of Dirtybird to continue, someone needed to acquire it and continue to nurture it in order for it to continue, otherwise that brand could have vanished.
That is literally what I was about to ask next. Like, what was the reason behind it? And also, is it difficult to carry on that legacy and that connection, because I know it has a huge community, with Claude and his business partner not being in the
part
picture?
of it, yeah. So first of all, I was a Dirtybird fan for almost 18 years or before, so I've been part of the brand and a follower and a fan for a very long time. There's actually videos of me at Claude's first international show in Canada where there was only 8 people, and I was one of them, on a speaker with not that curly hair, but it was really long with a headband on top of it. There was only 8 people at this party. And so I was always a fan, and I used to help them with their marketing for a while, before Empire, before any of that. So I was very connected to them. And then,
sorry, did you know each other?
Yeah, like literally, we were at a party once. The way me and Barkley met was, he was opening for Frankie Knuckles at this place called Sonic in Toronto. And Sonic was closing down. It was their final party ever. Frankie canceled, right? And so it was going to be Von Stroke all night long. So everyone ended up going and getting a refund instead of going to the show. I was actually going to see him. So the party starts, and it's just me and the dance floor. And so he's like, do you want to just come in the booth? And I was like, all right. And so I went in the booth, and this was, I don't want to age myself, but it was a long ass time ago. And so I was just in the booth, we became friends, and then we started he would send me songs, he would ask me about marketing stuff, he would, I would always rep the brand, I guess, in Canada. And then, so that's kind of how and then all the other artists from Dirtybird, like Justin Martin used to crash at my house, J Flip, I used to take her, every time she'd come, I would be the one guy who at 9 a.m. in the morning be like, do you want to go for a run? And she's like, you're insane. And this was 15 years ago. And I'd force her, and we'd go out on a walk, we'd go on a hike. So I was connected to a lot of these artists. So when I heard that they wanted to retire, it kind of made sense. Now in terms of leading the brand now and what that looks like and the challenges, yes, it's very difficult because the brand is way bigger than me. It's Dirtybird is a huge community. If you post a flyer and a fan doesn't like it, they will let you know. They'll be like, this flyer sucks. It doesn't, I swear.
Really?
Absolutely. If we make merch and the fans don't like the merch, they will tell us. If we they're very, very vocal.
But do you obviously take on or even negative comments on board to
Absolutely.
help grow and give them what they want?
The key to being able to continue growing the community is listening, right? So you listen to things. Sometimes you like what they're saying and sometimes you don't, but you have to listen to all of it because it's not a dictatorship, right? It works with everyone being involved. Our festivals, our fans make their own merch. Our fans do their own games. Our fans do their own renegade parties, which are just as big as the festival. So it's so much bigger than us. We just provide the infrastructure, but the Dirtybird fans do a lot of the lifting.
Has the community and the fans stuck with the brand since it's been acquired? Or, because I think in my head I was thinking, obviously big brands, not all big brands, but most big brands have, and big labels obviously have an artist behind them, right? And a face.
Right.
Is that still important that there's an artist behind it, the founder, or do you think it can grow without having that person and that connection behind it?
I think the brand is more important than the face or the sound, to be honest. When it comes to labels, I think if you can evangelize a community that's stronger than just one face to it. When it came to something like Dirtybird, originally when we acquired, one of the first things I wanted to do was rebrand into Dirtybirds instead of Dirtybird because I thought it was way bigger than just one person.
Interesting.
And to me, it wasn't just one artist. There was literally hundreds of artists, from Cats on Dog to Eats Everything to John Summit to Fisher, who all had records on Dirtybird. It wasn't just one person. But I felt that was too harsh of a decision to make for some, if I'm an outsider, I'd be like, that's too aggressive of a decision. But I think today, what's important to note is the fans also changed. We went from having ravers and producers to now having a tribe of content creators to families to entrepreneurs that are at the shows, which is completely different what it was 10 years ago. And because of that, their mentality changes, and their outlook of how a business is run is also different. And the other thing is, it's not just about preserving the fan base, but it's also about growing the fan base.
Yeah.
So getting new people to listen to Dirtybird for the first time, you know, we're last year was the first year we ever do a Dirtybird party out here in Amsterdam or in Europe. Next month we're doing 3 weeks in Brazil, which has never been done before. And that's because we have like 25 artists in Brazil, and it's our second or close to third biggest streaming market. In the past, before Empire, Dirtybird couldn't do any of that.
Because it just didn't have the infrastructure.
It didn't have the infrastructure, exactly.
So how was it, like, the actual changeover from Claude running it to all of a sudden, let me rephrase that. How hard was it for him to let go of it?
I don't necessarily think it was very hard for him, because I think he made the decision early on. Like, the process of acquiring a label is insane. You have no idea how much.
Really?
Of course. The legality, the permits, the integration, the staff, it's a lot. It took us almost like 16, 18 months to get it all done.
Wow.
From like ideation to execution. And even till now, there's still certain things that haven't been handled. But yeah, it's a very, very hard process. But I loved it. Like, that's the kind of personal growth every music executive want. Like, one of the hardest things for me was when this process was going on, I couldn't find anyone to speak to. Like, who do I ask for advice who's been a fan of a label and one day was going to acquire it and become its president? I'm like, who do I ask about that?
Did you find anyone?
No. And
Wow.
So it was like kind of just being thrown in the deep end. Luckily, Ghazi, who's our CEO, everything he's done has kind of been done for the first time. So he had so much like guidelines and advice, and I just go to him for advice. But in the industry, I don't know anyone who went from the only guy at the party to now being the face of the label they were obsessed with. Like, basically, imagine replacing your mentor. Like the person that you looked up to the most, one day being like, I'm really sorry, but I'm taking over now.
That is actually wild when you think about it like that, isn't it? It's actually mind-blowing.
Yeah, and it's a lot of pressure, and like it really, there's no like book. Like I don't know what book to read to help me like navigate that. But luckily, the team that I have is incredible, and like everyone understands the objective, the goal, the finish line, what we're doing, why we're doing it, and I think that's the only reason we've been able to succeed so far.
Okay, so now if somebody came up to you tomorrow and they were like, listen, I'm about to acquire a label, and the person who ran this label before, has been somebody huge for me for a long time, what advice would you give them?
First piece of advice would be like, one of the main reasons I did this was the team, right? Is I can't do this on my own. Is the team that's going to be helping me run Dirtybird, the existing team, going to be someone I can count on, learn from, support, to carry on this mission, yes or no? So that would be the first thing. Second, does this brand have longevity? Like, do you see this in 10 years, 15 years still being around? Three, what do you really bring to the table? Like, if I wasn't there from like the very beginning and saw the evolution of the brand, I wouldn't be able to have a blueprint of where it's going, right? If I was just assigned, hey, Moody, you're going to be in charge of this brand you've never heard of, it would have, got diluted really quickly. But I was there for a very long time. I saw the evolution of the sound. So I guess those are the first three things I think of. And four, how much do you care about sleep? Because if you care about sleep, good luck getting this going. Like, this is 1 out of 40 labels. Like, good luck.
Does this consume most of your day-to-day?
This year it was, because it was the 20-year anniversary. Last year was technically one of our first years, but now I think it's gone to a place where it's scalable on its own. Like, and everyone on the team has grown so much that a lot of these decisions can be made without me.
So tell me about the team then. Does the team come from the existing team, or do you create your own team when a label's acquired?
Half of it, most of the team stayed at the very beginning, and then there was a struggle because a lot of them, before we acquired them, the staff worked remotely. No one worked in the same office. And one of the first things I wanted to instill was, hey, if you want to do this, we all got to be in the same office. Because we have to learn off of each other. It's a vibe thing. Like, it just makes things move faster. And it's a pivotal year. We couldn't be remote. Darren, who was the label manager for almost 10 years, he's still on board. He's kind of my yang. He's the person who grounds me whenever I have crazy ideas. Like, I don't know if we could do this, Moody. I was like, let's just try.
Basically like every day.
Yeah. And then half of we got half of the team were new hires after that. Like, kind of once we figured out what was working, what was not. And then we just hired more people to run the rest of the Empire Dance Division. And the way the company is structured is we have our core team, and then we leverage the rest of Empire's resources. So we still use the design team, the digital marketing team, the sync, partnerships, publishing. Those are all separate departments in Empire that we work in conjunction with to be able to serve the labels that we have.
And so this year is the 20-year anniversary of Dirtybird.
Yep.
So does Claude make any guest appearances in anything, or is it totally done out?
It's totally done out. Sometimes it'll be literally across the street. He'll have something else going while we have something going. But just because, whether Claude Von Stroke will admit it or not, his influence on the brand is always going to be there. It's our duty to carry his legacy. It's our duty to continue that sound that he brought to fruition. And so even if he's moved out from the brand, his legacy is still part of it, and it's my job to preserve it. So a lot of the decisions we have to, consider the choices he made previously. But he's not involved at all day to day or long term or in any decisions. But, he will shoot me a text and be like, hey, Moody, I saw this, what's up? And I'll be like, oh, it's still his baby.
Of course.
It's just graduated.
Yeah.
It's out of the house.
That's a really good way
so
to
he just wants to
it.
make sure, you're okay, and are you safe? Things like that. It's the fatherly behavior, but it's still his baby, so he cares about it, but he's already raised it, and now we're out of the house.
Would you ever want to acquire any other label?
Yeah, for sure. I love learning from other people, and I love growing and evolving, and a lot of that is stepping outside of your I like being uncomfortable until I'm comfortable. And so acquiring another label that's completely different, where I'm like, oh, you guys do things differently. Oh, you guys dress differently. Oh, you know what I mean? It has its influence and whatever. And I love that. It helps you as a person become a better version of yourself. And my purpose is to help other artists and to really help this industry. And so the more I guess poison my own well until I cure it, the better I can do my role.
What do you think has been your biggest learning and most important one from this acquisition?
My biggest learning was, I guess, not getting the word no out of your system. It wasn't just from this experience, but in general. It sounds really crazy and it sounds like a lot to take on, but we figured it out easily. Not easily, but we figured it out, and we made the best of it. We had one of our marquee festivals, Camp Out, this year had their most successful one in the 20 years the label's been around. And that was the first time we've done it alone. We've done it without Claude Von Stroke and without Andy. We just leveraged fans, leveraged another partner, Northern Nights. Shout out Northern Nights. and it was the most successful one. And we already announced next year's, and we sold out, I think, 3 times faster than last year, than this year, sorry. So in like the first, I think it was 4 hours or 5 hours. So it's good. It's looking good.
4 or 5 hours sold out.
Yeah.
Nice.
No lineup, nothing.
Oh, so that's how strong the brand is. People are like, Dirtybird, we're in.
Exactly. It's like people aren't coming for just the artists. They're coming for the community, the culture. Like, as soon as you walk into this festival, it's a 3-day camping festival, you pick a color and that becomes your team. And then everything you do while you're there gets points added to your team, whether it's picking up trash, whether it's winning a comedy show, whether it's whatever it is. And for 3 days, friend groups are competing. Like, the music is there, but the community is really what it's all about. And then people become that color team for the rest of their lives, you know, which is really cool. That's what I'm saying. It's way bigger than us. Like, the team is there to make sure we have the sandbox for them to create whatever that experience means to them.
Is this where I saw you do an interview, like interviewed loads of people, like explain the last few days and one word everyone's like hot.
Yeah. And it's like that festival was so unique. I'd never been to, like, this was the best one for sure. And like seeing people make their own merch was like really crazy merch. And like you'll see like one of the things there is like patches. Patches are like a currency because it's like a camping festival. And like a guy, you know, will be like, hey man, can I talk to you? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I saw how you talk to these people. Let me give you some. And he opens like a little black book and it's all these rare patches he's collected from the last 10 years. He's like, I'm gonna give you the charismatic one. I'm like, thanks, bro. You know, I was like, thank you. I'm gonna cherish this. You know, it's like beautiful. Like,
that's so nice, though.
You never see anything like that. It's beautiful. It's honest. It's authentic, and you can't create that. You know, you can't manufacture that. And you know, that's what I'm saying. Like, I go to this thing, and if I feel like I'm growing up and I'm shedding a lot of ego, or I'm just, you know, really being part of the scene instead of trying to run it. You know what I mean?
It's nice to think that a brand becomes a community more than just a record label. Like it seems like in this case that it's community over, not over sound. Obviously sound is there. Sound is what brings the community together. But the importance of just having everyone come together and look out for each other and, you know.
I think for Dirtybird to be successful, or like what I would consider it our success marks, is like, one, obviously the music. Are we dropping bangers still? Yes or not? 2 is movement. Like, are we growing the demographic? Is the audience changing? Like, is there younger people or is there older people? And the third is like moments, right? Are people going there and having memories they'll never forget, because it's those memories that they hold on to. Yeah. It's the reason a lot of people love certain songs. It's the memory you have with that song. So instead of creating the song and trying to build the memory, create the moments and the memory will come, and then whatever song was playing there is going to be your song.
I love that.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but just before we continue, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsors of this episode. Firstly, TrackStack, the all-in-one platform built for music creators. So with TrackStack, artists can send and receive promos, get their unreleased tracks into DJs' hands, and even create social-ready promo videos through TrackStack Showcase. You can browse inboxes to see which labels and artists are open for submissions, and easily track what you've sent, when you sent it, and the status of each submission. So whether you're managing demos or sharing promos or leveling up your productions, TrackStack helps you do it all very, very easily. And if you want to try it out for yourself, you can use the code CUPMOG. That is the first letter of every word of Can You Put Me on Guest List for 10% off for life. And also, this podcast is powered by LabelWorx, the engine behind thousands of independent dance labels around the world. So if you're an artist or a label owner looking to push your sound further, you obviously need a system that works as hard as you do. And LabelWorx gives you everything from distribution to royalty management, promo tools, and industry insights, all in one powerful platform. For more than 15 years, they've been a pillar of the electronic scene, helping underground imprints, rising artists, and global brands run smoother, smarter, and stronger, breaking through the crowded avenues of the music industry, which we all know about, to reach a growing community of music lovers. And what makes LabelWorx different is that it's not just tech, it's built by people who live and breathe dance music, people who know what it takes to get a release noticed, charted, and to build a label that lasts. So if you're ready to grow your label and get your music heard around the world, check out labelworx.com. And finally, a huge shout out to Sounds Australia, who lent us the amazing spot which we recorded this episode in during ADE. Sounds Australia is a national music export initiative helping Australian artists break onto the global stage. And finally, if you haven't yet subscribed to the podcast, it would be so amazing if you could. It really helps the podcast grow and I would be eternally grateful. Anyway, back to the conversation.
That came out so smoothly. Did you have that one prepared?
I don't know. I don't think we're going to do Dirtybird for so long, but I'm here.
Yeah, no, that was lovely. No, I know what you mean though. I was thinking the other day, I don't know who I was interviewing, but I was talking about, you know, when an artist creates a song with like a specific story behind it and, you know, a meaning, but then as soon as that's played out, it becomes everybody else's story. It's not yours anymore.
And that's success in a song. When people start, like I love when fans make up the story of the song. Or mess up the lyrics and think this is the real lyrics. Like, I love that. I'm like, this is cool. It took on a life of its own. And I think the best compliment is when someone remixes your song. It's like, damn, someone heard this and said, this is good, but I can make it better. or it's like, I want to make it for something that works in my language or in my mood or in my community, which I think is really dope.
I've never thought of it like that before, it being a compliment towards the person who's originally made that track.
Yeah, do you know how much effort it takes to go? Okay, you know how hard if an artist sends their friends their music, it's hard enough to make them listen to it. Or you gotta be like, did you hear it? What'd you think? Yeah. They're like, I'll listen to it, right? You gotta beg your friends now to listen to your songs. Imagine people that hear your song, don't even get your stems, go find their own stems, cut it up, sit on their computer, dissect it, rearrange it, and then play it out, and then record a video. And you know what I mean? That's not just love, that's like obsession. And that's what you want, is people to be obsessed with your record so much that they rearrange it for you.
Yeah, totally. Okay, let's now talk about the other part of the label. So we've spoken about Dirtybird that was acquired. Now I would like to know a little bit more about the labels that you have signed. So you were saying before, you've got the Martinez Brothers, Soul Clap, Francis Mercier. Okay, so what does an artist get out of signing their label to Empire?
Okay, so I'll give you an example. Aluna started a label with us called Noir Fever. This was like a label that was LGBTQ, Black first, every single artist on that label. It was beautiful, it had good messaging. So she's basically the face of it and the heart of it. She's the one who finds the artists, she's the one who works with them. You know, so she's had Coco and Breezy on there, she has tons of artists, right? All fire. We don't get involved in like, is this a good song, a bad song, when a song should come out, none of that. It's her label. How we come in is one, we did a writing camp for her. And so she took over the Empire studio. We had 5 rooms. And it was one of the most beautiful moments I've seen since I've been a part of Empire Dances. One of the producers stood up and, you know, she was like, I never thought a day would come when I'd be in a room with so many women of color writing, producing, vibing. Thank God I'm wearing my shades because I'm fucking tearing up under, like, I'm like, it was beautiful, right? And it's those moments that really show like what a label can do, and I'm happy that we were just able to provide the rooms for it. Then during Miami Music Week, you know, Dirtybird always throws parties at Miami Music Week, but this year we're like, let's switch it up. We did this event at this club called Zeze. They had 2 rooms, a small one, a big room. We said, let's give Dirtybird the small room and let's give Noir Fever the big room. And so for the first, you have artists that are 21, 24, never played a big show, whatever. People of color, women, for the first time, they're playing the big stage. And it was beautiful. But then you have all this Dirtybird fans that are now fans of Noir Fever. And it's a lot. It's a lot of like strategic thinking and like, how do we leverage what we have? How do we leverage our different labels together? How do we leverage different personalities? Like for us, like the Dirtybird demo is quirky and fun and curious. And you know what I mean? So it made sense why they would be a good fit with Noir Fever. It wouldn't be like a weird, like 2 different fans being in the same room. So we did that. We'd handle everything from the pitching to sync to partnerships to, helping with visuals, marketing ideas. But it's all optional. Like, I'm just here to give you ideas and help you out. If you want to do it your own way. Like, Yulia Nico has her label with us too. She's the complete opposite. She's the type that's like, I'm going to let you know when I need help. But I know what I'm doing. I'm like, all right, we're hands off. But then once in a while, it could be, I need this, I need that. Very different. It's a very hands off approach. This is a very hands on approach. And it's because it's a relationship business. Mm-hmm. And every relationship is different. And you have to be malleable and flexible to have those kinds of relationships. If you're a major label, everything has to be within a certain parameter or work in a certain way because you're a label that has to scale efficiently. It's not going to work. But if you're a private company that's independent and everything has to be fluid, then you can handle those relationships.
How do you decide who you're going to work with? What do they need to have? What does the artist need to have?
So it used to be, A&R used to be artist and repertoire. And I think recently I look at it like it's audience and repertoire. So you like that one, don't you?
I do. It's giving me some good sound bites today.
So because it's, we've signed artists before that didn't have any music, but they had a fan base. And like eventually they're going to figure it out. And I think that's more important. You having a purpose that aligns with fans, like the Aluna story. Yes, obviously, like, even if there was no music involved, I understand the mission, I understand the objective, I understand the core, the values of the label, the brand. Sure, the music, we'll figure it out. So for me, it's having an audience, and then we can figure out an audience and purpose. I think those are the 2 things. And then third, I like to involve everyone on my team, because if the marketing person, if the social person, if the operations person, if they don't fuck with your music, it's going to be a lot harder to work on your music and push it. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be in a position where I'm forcing people to work on stuff. So whenever I'm excited about a project, I'm like, hey guys, what do you think of this? And if everyone in the room isn't galvanized around it, it's going to make my life harder. And then I got to think, is it worth it? Is there a long-term strategy that people in the room might not understand? Now, is that risk worth taking, yes or no? Most of the time, if everyone's not on board, it doesn't make sense.
That's so interesting and such a great way to work, because there's nothing worse than working on something that you're just not into.
You got into music so you can work on something you like. Then you're going to make me work on the music I don't like. It's almost like the irony of all of this. And that's why people always leave major labels and things like that. It's like, that's not what I signed up for. And and it's the other way around. Like if someone on the marketing team was like, Moody, I really love this artist, I think we should sign him. Are you telling me the person who's going to run marketing is obsessed with this artist? Guess how hard they're going to work on this project.
Yeah.
Guess how hard they're going to work, right? And so why would I not consider this act? And even think about it from the artist perspective. The person who runs marketing at this company is obsessed with you. Isn't that who you want on your team? Don't you want someone to be raising your flag internally like that?
Yeah.
Or do you want to work with a label where you have to convince them you're good?
When you're interviewing people to hire, Do you really go
Wow,
into
we're pivoting hella.
No, because now I'm like, because now I'm thinking about your team. Do you really go into like their music taste and what they like? And
Absolutely. I even go into their horoscope. I think it's an HR violation, but it's okay.
Who did I see you interview the other day? You asked them, Francis Bercier, which we'll get into in a minute. And you were like, what star sign are you? And he's like,
Yeah.
Didn't think, I can't remember what he
I know,
said.
but see, okay, consider that question. If he's a person who doesn't really care about that, that also says something about him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like some people will be like, oh yeah, I'm a triple whatever, like that means I'm like this, or I'm like this because of my sign during a conversation. So you can tell the type of person they are. They're very, they look for external factors to validate a lot of things. Francis, when he was like, that's not a person who really cares externally about like what someone says or does. If he's sure about something, he's sure about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Interesting. So that's what you ask the people you're going to hire?
No, it's different. So for example, like, all right, if it's like you're hiring someone for an account management position, right? Certain horoscopes might be a lot more impersonal, or what's it called? We're not super social? Introvert. So does that make sense, statistically speaking? No. You need someone who's going to be an, extrovert, patient, and so on. And so it's just something to consider statistically. I'm not saying I'm just saying statistically speaking.
Do you think people need to be living in major cities to get work in dance music?
No, fuck no. Absolutely not. The biggest city right now is Wi-Fi. You do not need to be living in a city. You like that soundbite too.
Yeah.
You don't need to at all. Like, I think the city actually might distract you in a lot of ways. It's the people that don't live in a city that are able to focus, because the way time moves is different when you don't live in a city. Also, dating is horrible in cities. But
this can be a whole new episode.
This could be a whole other episode.
Dating with Moody.
But I think as long as you have an internet connection, your audience, content, you don't need to be living in a city at all.
Although you did say that you like to have all your team physically together.
Correct. I do like having but that's, so when we first started this, keep in mind I said I want to learn from my team and I want to teach my team, and it's the 20-year anniversary.
Yeah.
I can't be, you know what I mean? And we just acquired a company, right? If you acquire a company, imagine the staff, we just got acquired. Like, I don't know if I want, you have to make sure two companies mesh with each other, right? And like, imagine at Empire where there was no dance culture period, electronic music culture period. How do I get the rest of the company to follow us when people are remote?
Yeah.
But it's when the whole team's inside the office and they see how we walk, how we talk, how we dress, where we go, our energy, then more people start to become fans of electronic music internally. And I said that team is sync, publishing, partnerships, A&R, digital marketing. They had to feel dance music in the building.
Yeah. Is that why when you go into the office in the morning, you put music on and you dance in your office?
Absolutely.
I like that.
I'm big energy in the office. If I'm in the office, everyone knows I'm in the office.
Do they?
Yes. She'll have her headphones out. I'm pointing at Daisy. She'll have her headphones right outside my office.
Music on really loud.
Really loud. And then people come, be like, what's the song? What are you doing? Whatever. And when they see me listen to the same song a bunch of times, they're like, man, Moody really likes the song. I got to work harder on the song. And like the whole office is glass, so people see the kind of energy you bring into the office every day. And
your offices look really cool.
Our offices are very cool. When I started at Empire, I was the first digital marketing hire. I got super lucky. Empire was one of my clients, but they were the only ones, one of the very few that were unconventional and wanted to experiment. And so if I had an idea, they were like, yeah, do it. Every day was a daily experiment, and that shares a lot of my ethos, which is like no rules, no gatekeepers, just results. So I was very grateful to join Empire. I was the first guy who do digital there. We were kind of like a startup. We were like, 25, maybe 30 people.
What, when you started as Empire?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, today we're 10x that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So where were you working before? How did you start working at Empire?
I used to have a consulting business, which was called Everybody Knows. And I used to work with all the labels on digital marketing, helping them. Like, I worked on Drake's campaign, Celine Dion's campaign, Frank Ocean. Also was part of Wavo, which was also like a data music company. And Empire was one of my clients, but they were the ones like, hey guys, I have an idea. What do you think about changing the artwork or the asset to this? And they'll be like, does it look better? I'm like, yeah. They're like, so do it. And I was like, what? I'm like, no one's ever said yes to me before. And I went down to meet them, and they offered me a role, and I've never made a decision quicker. I was very happy. I felt good. I remember I was in their office just to meet, and one of the employees was playing this bootleg remix of Anderson .Paak that I don't know anyone who plays. And I was sitting by the kitchen, and I'm like, I've never heard the song in an office before. I'm like, I need to work here. That was almost 9 years ago.
Nice. If you were going to start a label from scratch today, what would be your main focus points?
Brand and purpose, and then sound and audience. I think it's just like a startup, you know, like, and you know how like in Shark Tank and things, like most of the time they'll invest in the team more than they're investing in the product. I think that's how it works for a label. And I think we're going back to, it's always like a pendulum, right? And during COVID, the face of the label went away, and people just started signing, and parties went away and whatever. But I think now it's coming back, and you have everyone from Kaye to LPGOB to Francis, all of them are going back to being the face of the label because they represent something again. And I think, 15 years ago with Paradise and Soul Clap and Life and Death, it was the same, but then there was a weird period where everything became a blur, and it was less about the party and the after party and the community, and it became more about just being seen. And I think now we're coming back to that, where like, no, it's like the reason we do all the writing camps is I don't like this two people not meeting in person and just bouncing songs to one another and then just to share monthly listeners or whatever. Like, no, the whole point of this was we're out, crazy idea comes to mind, let's go to the studio. Sometimes it's shit, sometimes it's great, but now you're homies and now you have something, and now 6 months later you might be, yo, I wrote this, thought of you, here you go. That's what it's about. I'm very passionate about like the relationships between artists and fan and artist. And before, like if you wanted to get discovered as a fan, you'd have to go to the show and you'd have to wait for them. You'd have to try and give them a USB and you have to show up to every party just so they'd see you. Now it's like a DM, right? And it's like, it ruins it.
A bit soulless?
It's a bit soulless, definitely.
Do you feel like when artists collab on a track together and they do it from different parts of the world they've never met in person, do you think that is a bit soulless?
I think if it's, let's say if a friend said, hey, you should meet them, I know them and I've hung out with them before, I'm gonna introduce you guys, maybe. But if it's like two people with no connection, it's like, then there's an inauthentic reason why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like if I'm I've DM'd people before and said, I'm obsessed with you, I love your voice, I love your creative direction, and they're like, oh, you know what? I just checked you out, I like you too, let's work on something. That's cool, but sometimes it's like manufactured, and fans can always feel that.
Yeah.
Like on last week, I flew down to Dallas for literally 4 hours just to introduce two artists to each other, because two of them were fans of each other, but they didn't have time to like ever. One of them had to travel from India to come meet them. And I just showed up for 4 hours, sat them down, had lunch with them, and then I was like, okay, you guys are gonna be friends now. And literally they spent the next 24, 30 hours together, and now they're gonna work on, like, one of them's gonna come to the O2 Arena for their show next month,
That's so cool. Do you feel, is that part of your role, do you feel, as well, connecting people?
Yeah, 100%. The role is about seeing opportunities that make sense, that help extend or expand an artist's audience.
Is this why you have also, you're now in your interviewer era?
Yes.
Aren't you? Which I love, because I thought this is, because the reason I started the podcast was basically to meet people. Like, it was more of, you know, I wanted to know a bit more about what people do in the industry, and like, it's a great way to network.
Right.
You know, having somebody's time for an hour just to sit down and like know more about what they do. And
I feel like there's two parts of it. I don't know how you do it. I'm gonna ask you a question now. Sometimes I want to be like, I want to do this interview and not know anything about them and make it so authentic that we're getting to know each other for the first time.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, no, I'm always torn. Like, how do you figure out when to do the homework and when to keep it like first date?
it's a tricky one.
Right.
But it's a great question, because I have in the past thought, do you know what, I'm going to go in with, you know, a clear mind and just really find out about this person. But what could happen is that person doesn't really say much, and then you're just stuck, and then you're like, okay,
ooh,
so
not the right time to test this out.
Yeah. So it could kind of like, it can be hard to do it like that.
Right.
I always think it's good just to have at least a few little pointers in your head of where it could go in the case that person doesn't really have much to say.
So I got into it because, one, I said I like learning. So I love sitting with someone and like genuinely curious about their life, what they're doing, and see how I can extract something that I can apply to myself. And two, I try and not talk about actual songs or shows. Like it's kind of like this. You know, I'm not trying to promote their new single. I'm not trying to promote tickets to their shows. I'm more trying to promote their core values or their personality. I'm trying to promote their personality. Like, there's something about you that I'm gravitating to, which is why I want to sit with you. And I want more people to see that, because that's going to make them fall in love with you more. And, kind of removing that third screen from people's hands so that they can just learn something about them. But yeah, I got to be better at it like you and be more consistent.
I think you're really good.
Thank you.
I do. I think you're really good. It felt very natural.
I'm going to use this for my promo for my podcast.
Yeah, you should.
She said I'm really good, so you guys should watch my podcast.
You really are. I watched the Francis Mercier one, and I thought it was like supernatural, comfortable, and you know when you're like really into something. Right.
That was actually the first time we meet.
No way.
Yes, that was the first time we hang out. It was very. I was like, "Do you want to do a podcast?" He's like, "Sure." I was like, okay.
He's also super nice.
He's very nice, and he's very about his business, which I love. That's why I'm lucky. Like, I love working with him, because he knows how to he cares about everything he does. He cares about every performer next to him. He cares about every piece of lighting. He's very on it, and he takes care of it. For me, when someone takes care of their physical, it means that they really value themselves. They care about themselves a lot.
Totally.
Making time to do that means you want to be in a better headspace to make your decisions, and I admire that about him.
The only thing that I was missing in that podcast was at the end when you gave him that T-shirt inside the box, and I was like, I really want to see this T-shirt, and I was like, get it out of the box, and he's just like looking at the box. So I was like, if it's from Moody, it's going to be like a really sick shirt.
It was a really sick shirt.
And then I never saw it, and I was like, okay.
It was actually fun. So we were in the elevator, and I forgot. He asked me something. I forgot what it was. He's like, his manager was like, oh, I think he needs to change his shirt or something. And I was like, okay. I didn't say anything. And then during the podcast, I gave him that gift because he mentioned he wanted to go shopping, or I forgot what the reason was. Yeah. But I mean, it's dope. It's called the Idum. It's a clothing line I worked on. It's actually just one item, but it's dope. You should check it out. I gotta get you one.
Yes, please.
I gotta get you one.
I was thinking, like, I wish I could be like, oh, here's a gift for you. I can give you a sticker.
I got this.
And some
I got this.
Water. There you go, some wow cacao. Okay, so you always ask in your podcast, what is something that everybody should know about you, or something what's something everybody should know? about you? So what is something that
I'm obsessed about personal development. So every day I'm trying to shave a second out of my time doing something, or I think almost every day I beat a record at the gym. Like I have to do something every day to make me feel better about myself. And I'm obsessed by it. And so a lot of my decisions might be sporadic, but there's a personal goal I'm trying to be every day. But everyone should know that.
And everyone should do that.
Everyone should, I mean, yes.
Or try.
Or try. Or it literally is just the trying. It literally is just the trying. Was there a second part?
No.
Okay, cool. And look, so for example, you and I have sat down together, and I was like, I want to make sure that this one is better than every time we sit together. I want to make sure we have a better conversation, a deeper conversation.
Yeah.
We learn more from each other. I want my curls to look better, and but yeah, like it should be, a natural evolution or progression.
I do think this is the deepest interview that we've done.
I appreciate that.
It's nice.
Thank you.
It's been nice.
Thank you. There's something in that water. But.
I think there possibly is. Fun fact, Moody and I ran a half marathon together. Well, actually, he beat me at a half marathon.
No. Okay, the fun fact was I met her for brunch and in Egypt, and I was like, what are you doing in Egypt? And I was already a little sauced up. And she's like, oh, I'm running a marathon tomorrow or after tomorrow. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, Moody, it's my dream to go around the pyramids. And I was like, yo, this person's telling me they're about to follow their dreams, and I'm going to say I'm not going to join you? This is bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm coming.
I was like, what?
That was one of the funniest things I've done.
The best thing is when I get to the finish line, I was like, oh, I haven't seen him for ages. So I was like, he's definitely behind. I've been training for 6 months, and then I get there and he's just sat there hey. I was like, what?
What she doesn't know is halfway through my ankle gave up, and I went into one of those emergency trucks.
And they drove you back.
No, and they had the spray that numbs you, and he sprayed it. I'm like, oh, this feels better. And I'm like, I swear to God, I gave him whatever pounds I had in my pocket. I'm like, here, I'm taking this can. And every kilometer after that, I just sprayed, so I feel no pain. I ran this stuff. Literally, I cheated. I could not feel my left ankle.
Oh, that explains it. I never knew that.
Yeah, I couldn't walk for 5 days after that.
Oh, wow. We had a good spa session, best massage ever, didn't we, after?
Yeah.
Have you actually seen they're going to ban parties at the pyramids?
Okay, so...
What's your thoughts on this? Because I think it's a good thing that they're banning them.
So this happens every quarter, I want to say, where they do the parties, they say it's going to get better, everyone gets upset, they stop it, and then it comes back. I personally do not love the fact that they're whoring out the pyramids. I think it's disrespectful.
Agree.
It's super disrespectful, but is it iconic? Does it put Egypt on the map? Robbie, who runs the parties, is a friend of mine. We actually went to grade school or middle school together. So I love his ambition and everything he's doing, but I think we need to be a little bit more frugal with the pyramids. Show a little bit more respect. I'm not sure how that looks like, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe also have more Egyptian artists there.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. Yeah. Yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it?
It is.
I did see the news and I was kind of like, yeah, I think it's a good thing, but
yeah,
I don't know. Anyway, I have some quick fire questions to end.
Or make them run a marathon around the pyramids first, and then
and then the only ones that turn up are me and you.
And then you can perform.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. See who's coming to the pyramids now. Yeah. Okay, right. Quick fire questions.
All right.
Who is the DJ with the best dance moves?
Me, obviously. I have the best. Me and Life on Planets. When we're performing, we have synchronized dances. We're hella fun. Yeah, we're really good.
Are these prepared dance moves?
We are, because we have a bunch of songs together, and so we have dance moves, choreographed to some of the records. Yeah, it's a fun show. It's a fun show.
I love that. Okay. All right, give me 3 artists to keep an eye on.
LPGOB, Rochelle Jordan, Hubby Beats.
Who is the best DJ you've ever seen perform live?
Wow, Sven Väth or Stefan Budzen back in their days.
Nice. What does the music industry need more of in 2026?
Purpose, patience, definitely. Like nowadays, you make one mistake and people won't forgive you. Like, chill the fuck out, guys. Like, relax. Let people mess up. You don't understand what it does to artists. Having to walk on like literally eggshells. Anything they say, anything they do, you're gonna hold it against them. Like, be a little patient. Don't forget, we fall in love with rock stars who broke the rules, who were like all about anarchy, and now when they like are anarchists, we're like, why are you acting like that? It's okay. It's an outlet. It's okay to happen once in a while.
What is the strangest thing that you have ever received from a fan?
Like a gift?
Yeah.
A taxidermy bird.
Really?
Yeah, it was weird. It was like someone made like, a bird that was dead, and it was taxidermy.
I was not expecting you to say that.
I don't know.
You throw a dinner party. Which 5 DJs do you invite round and why?
Tennis for sure.
I knew you were going to say that.
You have to.
Yeah.
Maher Daniel, because he always cooks really good food for me. Heavy Beats again, just because he's good vibes, energy, a big eater like me.
Yeah.
Ye G, because we got to add some of that dishes to the vibe. And last would be, I guess, Claude Von Stroke. Honoree.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like that. Love that. Okay, who was the last DJ that you messaged and what did it say?
It's funny, on WhatsApp, it'll be international artists. On text, it'll be local, it'll be American artists. But I guess the last artist, can I check real quick?
Yeah.
All right, last artist. All right, WhatsApp. The last was, Francis and Chella. Chella's a huge Nigerian artist. And Francis, because he just sent me the artwork for a song he's dropping from me, which is cool.
Nice. Yeah. Lovely.
Yeah.
Okay. Who is the most famous person that you have ever put on guest list?
Music-wise, I would say like Martin Garrix or Tyga. But really, I played in Egypt a couple months ago and I had 14 or 16 members of my family, and I thought that was the coolest guest list I had ever seen.
I love that. That's so nice. It must be so nice having all your
Imagine
family
nieces,
there.
Nephews,
Everyone.
and then like, I was like, that's a crazy guest list to show up to a party.
That's so cool. Have you ever been to Australia?
No, but I feel like I'd fall in love there.
Okay, because so downstairs, this
Right.
is a Sounds Australia space.
Okay.
So downstairs, they're a platform that basically are just supporting and representing Australian artists and helping them expand globally.
Right.
So we're doing like a little collab with them. So I have a little Australia.
I wish I could go. Like, really, I feel like I would fall in love if I went to Australia. Like the culture, the parties, the beaches.
Do you do anything Australia related? Do you have like any Australian artists?
We have Night Tales that were huge in Australia. I mean, we have a team in Australia.
An Empire team.
Empire is a team in Australia. It's a prime territory, so we have to have staff there. We have staff in 26 countries, but that's one of them. I mean, I'd love to. I'm thinking of going in December.
Nice.
But I just don't. I feel like it's one of those places where I'll have an extended trip.
Yeah, you need to go for some time. Do you have a guest list rule?
Respect will get you in. Entitlement will get you out.
Love that one too. Okay, and finally, we're playing a game called Pass the Question.
Okay.
So every guest pass a question to the next guest. So the last guest question for you is, what did you have for your breakfast?
I haven't had breakfast.
Oh.
I'm sorry. I haven't had breakfast. I intermittent fast, so I don't have breakfast.
Okay, what was the last thing that you ate then?
I had a steak last night at Argentinian steak at like 10 o'clock. It was a team dinner. I had a steak and I had chicken wings. And 6 sauces.
And 6 sauces.
I need my sauces.
Like on everything?
Like I need options.
Okay.
I want every bite to taste differently.
Okay. I see what you mean. What is your question for the next guest?
What is one thing that you can do that no one else can?
Did you think of that already, or did you have it in your head?
I've been pretty good on these questions. Come on.
Yeah, you're very good.
I just came from the gym. My mind is clear.
You can tell. You can
Yeah.
tell when somebody's been partying the night before or somebody's been to the gym. It makes a difference in an
Well,
interview.
I'm very clear-headed.
Thank you so much for joining me here.
Thank
Can
you.
you put me on
I hope
guest
I get
list?
invited to more.
You will always be on my guest list.
I appreciate that. I feel like I should have had you in one of the answers, but I feel like the spa in Egypt beats all of that.
Yeah, that was a memory, wasn't it?
Yes.
Thank you, Moody.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And that's a wrap.